What's up, guys? I'm about to do something absolutely crazy. I'm going to show you how I secured over $100,000 in 0% interest funding for my business. I know it's absolutely crazy. I'm going to give you my exact roadmap. Now, before we get started, you may be wondering, who is this for? Now, this is for any current business owners or real estate investors who need money to scale, or maybe you're an aspiring entrepreneur who have a dream or a goal, but you need access to funding in order to get started. Or maybe you're just an investor who need access to more capital in order to start taking advantage of different investment opportunities. Now, I remember when I first started in my early days of entrepreneurship, I was living paycheck to paycheck, trying to use my own personal money in order to fund my business, until eventually I learned how to get access to funding and was able to teach others how to do the exact same thing, just like the results that you see here popping up on the screen. Now, believe it or not, I've also been featured on multiple news articles such as Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, MarketWatch, Street Insider, just to name a few. If you look us up online, you'll see that there's so many more. Now, in this video, there are going to be a few things that I want to cover. The first thing is going to be how to optimize your credit profile. I want to review the secret criteria that banks want to see in order to approve you for super high limits. Now, the last thing that we're going to review in this video is how to use my strategy to get access to over 100K in 0% interest money, just like I did. Now, why is this important, you may be asking? Now, it's important because as business owners and investors, a lot of you know and still use old funding methods, like spending your own money to fund your business or investments, just like I started out doing with my paychecks that I got from the military. Or another one is bringing on capital or equity partners. But the issue with this is you are bringing them on to give you capital to start and launch your business, but you're giving them access to profit and control in your business. Now, another one is that people like to do is use personal loans, which require you to pay super high interest rates and can negatively affect your credit score. Now, another one is using our business loans. The thing with business loans, it requires a lot of documentation, super high fees, and high interest rates like installment loans or hard money loans for those who are the real estate investors. Now, the bottom line up front is most business owners are still using these old methods and are still failing, okay? And that is what is wrong, and that's why this is important. Now, you may be asking, like, what's different about my method? Well, listen, here's the thing. I was able to figure out a new funding method that allows you to get access to large credit limits without being denied. It allows you to leverage other people's money to fund your business or investments. And also, it allows you to get access to thousands of dollars with 0% interest. And that's why this method is different, because it doesn't have any interest. You're using other people's money, and then you can leverage it and use it however you so choose. So we're going to go through how this works. I'm going to break it down in 3 phases. And in phase 1, we have to talk about making sure that your personal credit profile is attractive to the banks. Now, we first need to review your credit profile in order to make a strategic game plan to fund your business. Now, the 5 most important things that we have to look at is first going to be your payment history, which is about 35% of your credit score, the amount owed, which is about 30% of your credit score, the length of your credit, which is about 15% of your overall credit score, credit mix, which is 10%, and your new credit basically means the amount of applications that you have, and that weighs about 10% as well. Now, a few common mistakes that I usually see is that people are applying for too many personal credit cards or not following the specific credit card application strategies. And another one is not requesting credit line increases effectively. And this is important because you have to have comparable credit when you start applying for business funding. And another one is not filling out credit card applications correctly. Now, doing that can automatically flag your application and can eventually lead to a denial. Now, the next thing we need to look at is going to be your utilization. There is a certain percentage that we want you to be under in order to maximize your funding potential. Following that, we need to take a look at the number of hard inquiries on your credit report, because these can stay on your credit report for up to 2 years, but there are certain time frames where these are weight it differently. So we want to make sure that this is optimized before submitting credit card applications. Now, next is going to be the payment history. With the payment history, you want to make sure that you do not have any late payments, charge-offs, or collections, or anything like that before submitting an application. But the good news is I will teach you a strategy to dispute and remove these negative items from your credit report before applying. Now, another thing is the credit age, right? So if you're new to credit or you're just super young, like 18 years old, we have came up with simple and easy ways to teach you to increase your average credit age to give you the best results possible. Now, in phase 2, we have to talk about learning the bank's secrets. The banking secrets is super important. So there are some people who have tried to get access to 0% interest funding, right? And they've tried to get access to 0% interest credit, but their applications continuously get denied time and time again. And it's simply because they don't know what the banks are looking for. They haven't hacked the banks and they haven't figured out exactly what they need. And when they get denied and they get their denial letters, the denial letters are super vague, so there's no way for them to really understand what they need to fix or what they need to work on in order to get approved later on down the line. But luckily, I've been able to build relationships with business relationship managers and underwriting teams of many banks, and I was able to get them to give me the formula that they are looking for in order to approve you for high business lines of credit for 0% interest. Now, once you learn the underwriting criteria, you will always be able to get approved for 0% interest as long as you play by their rules. As long as you play by their rules, you will always get approved for high limits. Right? Now, you also want to make sure that you look as professional as possible and you don't look risky to the banks, because you want to maximize your fundability by having valid and a solid professional business appearance virtually. Now, what do I mean about that? What I mean is your business name matters, your business email matters, your business address and phone number, and your business classification code. All of those things matter, and that can help you not look risky to these lenders. Now, I already told you why this is important, but I didn't necessarily go over why it's impactful. Now, there's so many reasons why this is super impactful. And the first one is because you are able to use your EIN number for your business and not just your social security number, which helps out tremendously, because whenever you use your EIN, they look at the age of your business, the likelihood of your business succeeding and things like that, and not just necessarily relying on your credit score. Another thing is that business credit accounts do not reflect on your personal credit profile, which means that you can max out a business credit card and it won't be seen on your personal credit report, and it won't negatively affect your credit report. Now, in phase 3, I have to go over how to leverage the 0% interest funding with my strategies, right? So what is 0% interest? It's basically a 0% interest introductory offer that you get whenever you get approved for a specific business credit cards from some different banks. Now, these introductory periods can last anywhere between 6 to 18 months, but the good thing about this is you can always get cards that offer 0% interest and use balance transfers as well. So that way, if you have one card that is expiring at the 18-month time frame with 0% interest, you can just do a balance transfer and move that debt to another balance transfer credit card that offers 0% interest, so you can have a 0% interest for up to 5 years. Now, a few common mistakes that I usually see is people are always applying for the wrong cards. Okay, that is one of the biggest things that I see. Now, the thing is, some don't give you the 0% interest introductory period, and some just don't give you the best value, and we want to make sure that you're maximizing every opportunity possible. Another one that I usually see is not knowing which bureau the bank is going to pull from. If you are able to get the inside information, you can strategically apply to get the best and highest limits, and you can increase your success rate tremendously simply by knowing what bureaus the banks are pulling from. Now, another one that I usually see is submitting the application the wrong way. So there are a few ways to submit an application, but that does not mean that every way that you can do it is the best way to do it, right? So with that being said, the first step that we have to go over is to know what banks to apply to, right? So in my program, we give you access to the softwares that tell you what banks to apply for in all 50 states. So if you're in Nevada, or you're in Florida, Georgia, California or anywhere in the 50 states, I will give you access to the softwares that we have that tells you what banks to apply for within your state. Now, the next thing that we need to go over is you need to know when to apply, because time really does matter, right? So you need to look at your credit profile and find out what bureaus have inquiries on them, and you also need to find out what banks are going to pull from those bureaus, so that way you can strategically apply for business funding. Now, in my program, we will give you the softwares that will show you the bureaus that the banks are going to pull from based on your location. Because, for example, if you have a Chase Bank, right? Chase Bank is a national bank. Here in Florida, they may pull from one place, but in California, they may pull from another. So it changes depending on where you are geographically. And we have a software specifically to help you find out what bureaus the banks are going to use based on where you are. And that is super important. Now, too many inquiries can restrict your credit approvals. But in our program, we came up with this effective and easy way to get inquiries removed from your credit report, so that way you can continuously get funded. Now, it is important that you know that you can only remove inquiries for personal credit card denials, right? But you can remove all inquiries for business credit cards with our inquiry sweeping methods that we teach in our program. And basically what that does is it gives you a fresh start to continue to apply for more business funding over and over and over again with our inquiry sweeping methods that we teach in our program. Now, you want to make sure that you know the best way to apply for business funding as well, right? So I talked about how this was like one of the more common mistakes that I usually see, right? So there are three main ways you can apply online, which is cool and it's fast, but there's a lot of credit card fraud online, which means that a lot of the online applications get denied simply because of the credit card fraud that goes on, right? And then the next way is going to be inside of the branch. Now, applications that whenever you go to a bank and you apply at the branch, it goes through an algorithm, and that algorithm then approves you. Now, the issue with this is it's not an actual person that's looking at your application, right? And the last way is going to be through a relationship manager, which I have found to be the absolute best way to get the best results possible. The benefit of applications going through a relationship manager is that these applications are sent to an underwriting team, which is actual people who get to look at your application, which can then increase your approval ratings drastically whenever it's time to apply for more business funding. Now, finally, you want to strategize your banking sequence, right? So you want to know what banks to apply for first and what order to do that. For example, you typically want to apply for the top tier banks first, and then you want to go down to the regional level and then the credit unions in your local area to maximize your funding potential. Right now, to be clear, you do not need an aged business. You don't need a cash flowing business. You don't need previous knowledge about credit. You don't need previous banking relationships, and you don't need to be a certain age in order to get started to get funding for your business, right? If you believe that this is something that can help you scale or grow your business, the thing that I want you to do is I want you to click the link below to schedule a one-on-one call with me or my team. And the only requirement that I have is for you to have at least a 650 credit score, and you must be coachable, because my team's time is valuable just like yours, right? So I want you to make sure that you have a 650 credit score before booking, and make sure that you're coachable before hopping on a call. Now, just to be clear also, this is not a do-it-yourself, and it's definitely not a done-for-you type of program. That's not what this is. It's right in the middle, smack in the middle, and this is a program where we do it with you. We want to work with you along the way, right? Because we want to see you succeed. And we realized that when we work alongside with you, the approval ratings are so much higher and you get so much more funding. Now, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a one-on-one onboarding call to create a personalized roadmap for you, your business plan, and ideas. Now, the next thing you're gonna get is you're gonna get access to my course, where I teach you how to develop a better mindset, how to leverage your credit, how to apply and maximize your funding potential, my exact strategies to get access to 0% interest funding, and my exact blueprint to show you how I got my access to my first $100,000 in 0% interest funding. And then you're also going to get access to our monthly group calls and our one-on-one personalized coaching calls. So again, if you're currently a business owner or real estate investor who needs money to scale, or maybe you are a aspiring entrepreneur who has the dream or the goal, but you just need the access to funds in order to get started, or maybe you are an investor and you just need access to more capital to take advantage of more investment opportunities, and you see the benefit of everything that I've just went over, what I want you to do is I want you to click the link below and hop on a call, right? So you can either do two things. You can either leave the video right now, you can go try to do it on your own, or you can click the link below, hop on a call where I can help you implement the things that I just went over, so that way you can cut down the time it takes to see results when you try to do it on your own, right? If you're tired of doing it on your own with no guidance and you are a business owner or investor, hop on the call, right? If you're ready to take your business to the next level, or you want to take your investing to the next level, and you're ready to execute and you're ready to work and you're an action taker, book a call. But here's the thing. Here's the but. If you're not serious and you're not an action taker, do not book a call. Do not waste your time, and please do not book a call to waste my time or my team's time. I truly only want to work with people who are humble, ready to work, action takers, and people who are ready to learn. Now, if you have what it takes and you fit that criteria and you are humble, coachable, and you are ready to work and ready to be an action taker, then book a call. Worst case scenario is you leave with tons of free content and value. Now listen, what I want you to do is I want you to click the link below right now. Go ahead, click the link below, and we'll see how it goes, right? We'll give you the game plan and the roadmap. Click the link below and I'll talk to you soon.